my name is Aoife and welcome back to my channel Under the Avo Tree. So today we're going to do a post-running yoga stretch because as of 3 weeks ago I am officially a runner. So this is kind of a variation, or like I do a variation of this sequence after I've been running. Obviously I'm no running professional since I've been doing it for 3 weeks, but I have found that these stretches, like where I kind of feel it right after my run, really target those areas. And also if I were to stretch, or like the first day I ran 3 weeks ago and I was so sore after the couple of days afterwards, these are kind of all the areas that I felt like that soreness. So to get them nicely stretched after your run, so you can hopefully minimize any post-running soreness. So we're going to get started straight away. So you're going to be standing on your mat, whatever way, just standing up nice and tall. Try to relax the shoulders down the back. We're just going to lift the left foot up, catch it behind you. You can hold it with both hands here. Just trying to draw that left knee in line with the right knee and pulling the shoulder blades together so you're opening up the front of the chest, making sure you're looking straight ahead, maybe finding a point right in front of you to center your gaze on. Just trying to pull that heel as close to your bum as you can, deepening it into the quad. Like as you pull the heel closer to your bum, you'll feel that stretch in the quad. All the while pulling the shoulder blades together. Ooh, and if you wobble and fall over, just catching it back up. We're going to let go from the hands and just move the knee out in front, catching the knee, pulling it in close to the chest. We're trying to slow down the breath, so maybe you're doing this straight after running, maybe you've had a bit of a cool down walk. So either way, just trying to deepen the breath into the belly as you inhale through the nose. And slowly release the exhale out the nose. You might like to circle the ankle here as well if you find your ankles can be a bit tender. Just making sure to circle both directions. This might also challenge your balance a little bit. And you can release the right hand onto the hip, keeping the left hand on the knee. You're opening the knee out to the side. And if your balance is getting very challenged, you can hold onto something beside you, whether it's a tree or a wall, wherever you are. So you're just trying to open up the hip joint here, the groin area, but also you're working the glutes. That standing leg. We'll do 2 more breaths, nice and deep in. Slowly exhale. 1 more. Exhale, bring the knee back to the front, let it down, maybe give the hips a little shake out. Then the opposite sides, just grounding that, planting that left foot down as you catch the right foot behind you. Taking both hands onto the right foot, drawing the shoulder blades together and pulling that right knee back in line with the left knee, squeezing the heel towards your bum. So you're also getting a chest opening here, as well as working into your glute. Sorry, not your glute, your quad. But also you'll feel it in the left glute of the standing leg. And then releasing that foot, bringing the knee out in front to catch it, squeezing it into the chest. Are you pressing into that left foot? Maybe having a very tiny bend in the knee, of the left knee, just to give you that bit of buoyancy as you stand tall. And then letting the left hand come onto the left hip, taking the right hand, so it's kind of wrapping around to the inside of the knee as you pull the knee out to the side. Ooh, wobbling around maybe. Reaching up through the crown of the head, finding that focus point in front of you to steady your gaze, steady your balance. One more inhale. We'll exhale back the knee to the front and release the leg down. Again, giving the hips a little shake out. We're going to inhale, take the arms wide and overhead, looking up, stretching the sides of the body. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, folding down. And then inhale to lift halfway, hands come onto the shins, spine parallel to the mat. And exhale, folding down. Let the head hang down. Then you're just going to bend the knees to plant the hands onto the mat, and you can walk or step the feet back to your downward facing dog. So taking the feet back as far as they can, bending the knees so you you can send the hips up to the ceiling, and then you feel a lengthening through the lower back, the middle back, the shoulders, as you press the hands into the mat, and then reach the heels towards the mat to straighten out the legs. Breathing here, inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly. We'll do 2 more breaths. And if you like to cut out the legs, you know your calves or hamstrings might be tight after the runs. This might be really nice to do. But you also might really enjoy just reaching down through the heels, feeling that stretch deepen into the calves or the hamstrings, wherever you're feeling it. We'll do 1 more inhale, 1 more exhale. We'll inhale, lift the left leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee, open up the hip, left hip stacks over right, and level them back off, bringing the knee to the nose, stepping the foot between the hands, lowering the back foot down. Just lifting yourself up into our low lunge. So you can take your hands onto the knee here. The back toes are untucked, pressing the top of the back foot into the mat. Just checking that knee is stacked over the ankle. Just shifting or trying to ease the hips forward. So you're feeling this stretch in the front of the right hip, the glute, the groin, I mean. I keep just saying the glutes. Glutes are on my mind. Breathing here, trying to slow down that inhale and exhale. We're going to release the hands down to the mat. Just walk that left foot out to the edge of the mat. Coming on the fingertips or onto the palms of the hands if you are able to. Just sinking deeper again into the hips. And you can stay like this. You can come onto the edge of that left foot. So whatever you feel like for you, depending on your body, your own like flexibility, mobility, and your running, you might find one version or the other just gives you a better stretch. So whichever feels like really nice and juicy. We're keeping the chest lifted and open, looking forward. Do 1 more inhale. Exhale, walk that foot back between the hands. And then we're going to tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, and then plant the back foot down, 45-degree angle, squaring the hips to the front of the mat. So you're pulling that right hip forward while trying to keep the right heel on the mat. And we're going to lift up into our warrior 1. So you can take the hands onto the hips, just squaring top to the top of the mat. You'll really feel a gorgeous stretch in that back leg. Then we're going to lift the right hand up, bend the elbow, so the hand comes between the shoulder blades, and you can take the left hand onto the right elbow. Just getting a tricep stretch here, also deepening the stretch into the right side of the body. And if you like, you could take that left hand around and behind you to catch onto the right hand, if it's available for you. If not, just keeping the left hand on the left elbow. Sorry, right elbow. Bending into that left knee, looking forward, chest is lifted, trying to pull the shoulder blades together. Do 1 more inhale. And exhale, release the hands, take them down to frame the foot. Step back that left foot, coming to your downward dog. And you choosing whether you pedal out the legs or not, just whatever you feel the body needs. I'm going to lift the right leg up to the ceiling, bend that knee, open the hips, right hip stacks over left. And level off the knee, bring the knee to the nose, step the foot between the hands. You're lowering the left knee onto the mat and tucking the back toes. Just popping the hands onto that right knee as you try to sink the hips forward. Nice and tall through the torso. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And you can release the hands down onto the mat, walk that right foot out to the edge, and whatever you did on the other side, repeating here, so either keeping that right foot planted down or coming onto the outside edge of that right foot, either on the fingertips or the hands, whichever helps you keep the chest open and looking forward. We don't want to be rounding often, well, says the running expert of 3 weeks. You know, when you're running, you can often kind of like cave your chest in or like have your shoulders hunched, especially like as you get into like further into your run, as you get tired. So we want to try counteract that or counterbalance that by keeping the chest nice and open. And we're going to walk that right foot now back between the hands, lifting the back knee up so you can plant the back foot down, 45-degree angle, putting that left hip forward to square off the hips as you lift up into your warrior one. This time you lift the left hand up, bend the elbow so the hand can reach between the shoulder blades, taking the right hand onto the elbow. You're trying to sink forward in that right knee so it's stacked over the ankle. You're keeping that left foot grounded, so the left ankle, getting tongue tied, the left heel and the edge of the foot, you're trying to press them into the mat. You can take that right hand around behind and catch onto the left if you do on the other side, if it's accessible. One more inhale. And exhale, release the hands, cartwheel them down to frame the foot, stepping back to your downward dog. Again, your choice whether you pedal out the legs or reach the heels down to straighten them. I'm going to lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Bring that left knee in front of the left wrist, let it come down onto the mat. Same with the left ankle. Lower the right knee down, coming into Pigeon Pose. So you're just checking you have a straight line from your hip, your glute, the center of your bum, the center of your knee and your heel. So just having a little check looking back. That shin of the left leg, you can either have the left heel towards the right hip or walking it forward towards the right wrist. Sitting up on the fingertips here. Checking that the hips are square, you're not dropping the weight to one side or the other. Maybe then walking the hands out in front, lowering onto the forearms. Maybe taking the hands onto the mat and letting the forward rest on the hands. If this is too deep, you could take one hand into a fist, place the other hand in a fist on top of it and rest the forward on here. Just giving you a bit more height. Or if none of those are working, you can keep yourself up on the hands. Breathing nice and slowly wherever you are. Seeing, can you direct the breath to that space where you feel the stretch is working? We'll do one more inhale. One more exhale. And lifting the chest up, planting the hands shoulder distance, tucking the back toes under, lift the back knee up, and then send the hips back, lift the left leg up to the ceiling, maybe give it a little ring out, shake out. We're coming to your downward dog. We'll lift the right leg up now. Right knee comes to our right wrist, lowering it onto the mat. Ankle also comes down. Lower the left knee, untuck the back toes. And sometimes you might feel like you could walk that back knee back a little bit. Again, checking your hips are square, you're not sending the weight over to one side or the other. Coming up on the fingertips, looking forward. And then starting to walk the hands forward, reaching the chest forward as you lower it down, maybe onto the forearms. Okay, just whatever you did on the other side, and you might find that you have more accessibility on one side compared to the other. I'm trying to repeat the depth you went anyway, even if you can go further, just so then you're developing both sides equally. Not overdeveloping one side and then all sorts of things happen. Inhale deeply, directing the breath maybe to that right glute, the right groin, creating lots of lovely space. And exhaling, can you sink the chest a little deeper towards the ground. One more inhale. One more exhale. And lifting your chest up, bringing the hands back to shoulder distance, tuck under the back toe, lift the back knee, and lift the hips back and up to the ceiling, lifting that right leg as you go, maybe giving it a little shake out. Coming back to your downward dog, feet hip distance. And then you can bend the knees and walk or step the feet forward to the top of your mat between the hands, hanging the head down, letting the upper back, the shoulders be nice and heavy towards the ground. And then bending the knees, tucking in the chest. We're slowly rolling up through the spine, feeling each vertebrae stacking one over the next. Really stretching through the back of the body. Then all the way up, just standing. Once again, we're going to take the feet hip distance now. Hip distance as wide as you can go, like the opposite of hip distance. So taking the feet as wide as you can bring them, bringing the toes pointing forward so that the outside edges of the feet are parallel to each other. And then interlace the fingers behind the back, so you're drawing the shoulder blades together. So once again, opening up the chest here. I'm going to inhale, look up to the ceiling. And exhale, hinge at the hips, leading with the chest to fold forward into your wide-legged forward fold. And as you're folding down, the knuckles are reaching back and then lifting up towards the ceiling or the sky, or if you're outside. I did this stretch yesterday out in the park. It was so nice, took my shoes off. Really lovely way to end a run. Each inhale, breathing space into the back of the legs, the back of the upper body. Exhale, can you sink the head closer to the mat, the knuckles higher to the sky. Do one more inhale. Exhale, releasing the hands down to the mat. We're going to heel toe the feet towards each other, keeping them still wider than hip distance, just about. And then bending the knees, starting to lower the bum towards the mat until you come into your squat, your yogic squat. So you can take the elbows inside the knees to push them out, take the hands to prayer. If you're up on your balls of your feet, that's no problem if you can't get the whole way down. Both are perfect. Breathing here, we'll just do 2 more breaths. One more inhale, and then we'll just let the bum drop onto the mat. We're going to take the feet, so the soles of the feet touch each other, working the heels towards the body, taking the hands onto the ankles. You might like to bounce the knees up and down a little bit here. It feels really great. And the groins, just releasing that out. Just trying to sit up nice and tall through the spine here. And then just stopping that bouncing, coming to stillness. And inhale to reach through the crown of the head up to the sky or the ceiling. And exhale, reaching the chest forward, coming into your Cobbler Pose. The elbows can rest onto the knees, pushing them down towards the earth, deepening it into the groins, the inner legs. Let the head hang down towards the feet. Breathing here into the back of the chest, so between the shoulder blades, the back of the rib cage. And exhale, sinking a little bit deeper. Once again, inhaling into the back of the rib cage, feeling that expand. And then exhale, emptying, sinking again. One last time, inhaling into the back of the rib cage. And exhale, releasing slowly, sinking deeper. And you can look forward, lift yourself up, bring the knees together, take the hands behind you. Just drop the knees side to side, releasing out the hips here. Coming back to center, and you are done. That was a nice little stretch for after your run. You can take a moment to center yourself if you like. If you're running off to have a shower, you can also just do that. Hope you enjoyed this stretch, and if as my running career continues, I will possibly do some more of these videos. So if you liked it, please give it a like or a comment so I know, so I can create more of a similar thing going forward. Be sure to subscribe so you get notified when the next video is out. I'll see you then. Bye.